In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Arduino Allegro microcontroller board along with the 0.3 volts and 5 volts power supply module, and also the step motor driver to control this little step motor. And since the stepper driver file already provided all these functions, and there are 3 major functions you're going to use to control this step motor. And now I'm going to show you what are they and how to use it. Okay. So if we look at the paper, I'm going to write down the 3 main functions you can control this. You can use to control this little step motor. So the first one is my stepper. So the my stepper is an instance from the stepper class, because you can see from the example code, this is being instantiated from the stepper function. So doesn't matter. So let's just treat this one as a function now, or a object right now, and you can see that there are several parameters inside. Step per revolution, and followed by the pin numbers you are going to use on the Arduino board. So we are going to use these pins anyway, but you can change it if you like. That's not that critical. And except for that, you can see that this parameter is actually not changeable given by this specific step motor. So if you look at the data sheet or search online, you can find out the steps per revolution, which means for this step motor to rotate for one circle, one round, it has 2038 steps. So you have to set up this parameter to be exactly this number of steps. So that's the first thing you need to do. All right. So the second thing, so since you know totally for 360 degrees, you are going to have 2038 steps. So it's going to be something like a circle, but you need a little steps to make up the circle to finish the circle. It's like a discrete signal, but when the steps are tiny, it's equivalent to whatever you can say it's a analog signal, but they are discrete signals, but they're tiny, right? So you can have a pretty good resolution to control every little tiny movement of the step motor. And the other function, so now we are going to directly use this object to apply the function inside, which is my stepper dot step. Right? Just simply give an integer in there. So which means, for example, I need 500 steps. So it's about a fourth of the total number of steps. So the step motor is going to rotate probably for something around 90 degrees. It's not 90 degrees, but it's going to be something around 90 degrees, right? So given how many steps it has for one revolution, you are going to be able to control how many degrees you want the step motor to move, backwards or forward, doesn't matter, right? So the third one is the speed dot set speed. So the unit for this parameter will be RPM, and you just give an integer in there. And for this step motor, and given this specific number of steps per revolution, I tried a few times. So the maximum speed will be like 19, right? If you do 20, it's just not going to move at all, right? So keep this in mind. You want to use something lower than this, okay? Do not make it larger than this. And sometimes probably we'll see, since it's a pretty cheap step motor, so maybe it's not really exactly consistent for every single step motor. But the thing is, it's going to be somewhere around 19 RPM. But I recommend use a speed which is a little bit lower than 10 RPM, or somewhere around 10, which will be better. So it's not giving too much stress to the step motor. And there's another thing you need to know is in this function, if this number is negative, it's going to rotate counterclockwise. But if it is positive, it will rotate clockwise. All right. These are pretty much all these parameters you need to know to be able to control any kind of movement, the speed and the distance or the number of degrees you want the step motor to rotate. And I think this should be good enough for future projects, applications, and hopefully you can repeat this on your side, and I'm going to see you in the next video.